At the confluence of the three rivers, the Ohio, the Allegheny, and the Monongahela, we are here at Pittsburgh's Acrisure Stadium. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, happy to be with you. And CD, as we get this thing going, give the folks at home something to keep their eye on.
The running game for both teams, because I think this is going to be an old-fashioned, old-school type of a game. Physical, who wins up front, who runs the ball the best and controls the clock, they will come out the victor.
Set to go now on a beautiful sunny afternoon. And off we go in Madden Ultimate Team. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he probably wishes he would have sat on that one. Instead, he's only able to get this up beyond the 15-yard line.
On the set. Mustang 19. Here we go, set.
First play and a first throw coming for Hill. Here's Johnson with a reception. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A gain of 32 that time.
I've heard of quick strike offenses, but this has taken that to the extreme. I mean, the very first snap of the ball game, normally you're thinking, let's get our quarterback comfortable and get him into the flow of the game, but not here. They come out attacking from the outset, and it pays off in a big way.
And he'll just get rid of it.
And that's the knowledge you gain from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
2nd and 10.
Set.
Hill looks to throw. And that's complete to Gates. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
60 Bison, 60 Bison. Ready?
To throw is Hill. And that is incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th.
Ready?
To the air again. Hill. Flushed out right. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. 4th down, no problem. Just a ho-hum pickup of 14 to keep the offense on the field. Now it's Hill. Being chased out left. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Here's Hill. Rolling to his right. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Let's go.
And again, it's Hill. Out to his left. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he doesn't quite make it. Taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal. Chase the motion man right. He'll get an opportunity with it on the touch pass. Oh, and that is well read defensively. A great job of setting the edge, and that little touch pass going to turn into a loss. So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty. 1st and goal.
Go!
Hill now to throw. Steps away to his left. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Taysom Hill. A touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Steelers are on the board first here. Oh, and now they're going to fake it. He's got it at the 10. And he is not going to make it. They stop him up short, and this will remain a 6-0 ball game. So they went for 2 and failed. They didn't use him on the PAT, but now he boots this one away with a 6-0 lead. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Now Brady. And this is what here? Incomplete, they say. It looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not get the 2 feet down in bounds.
I don't care what game it is. Everyone's always looking for an early advantage, an early break, and they almost had one there. That should have been an interception. Nice catch. Just couldn't get his feet down in bounds.
And offensively lucky to have that one back. Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. Now back to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. To throw is Brady.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown.
CD, what a sensational start for this defense. Instead of just forcing the 3 and out, which they were about to do, they pick it off and take it in for the score.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't just settle for the standard good way to start a game. They started in dramatic fashion. Take it away, score points, and guess what? They'll be flying to go back out there on defense again after that play.
And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. And Graham's got it, complete. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection, maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down.
Brady going to throw. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Packers. Terry McLaurin, 62 yards.
And the Packers are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6.
And that time, he came out of the slot for that big play downfield for the score.
I think what we just saw there, partner, was what we call scheming a guy open. Put him in the slot, know that he has tremendous speed. What you're doing with your other receivers is likely running shorter routes to draw the attention closer to the line of scrimmage, to give him a chance to get downfield and turn it into a one-on-one route, often against the safety. You like your odds when he's running against the safety. His speed usually wins, and it did on that play.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away.
And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now, but let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right.
And an off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete.
And that is how you respond after taking one on the chin to begin this game. Give up a first drive touchdown, go back out on defense, and completely shut them down to force a 3-and-out.
And how about this? Fourth and long, and they're going to go for it.
60 Maverick. Let's go.
And they are going for it. Here's Hill. Into a double team, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Javon Holland.
And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw or maybe the ball's tipped or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result.
Come 19. Come 19. Ready.
So after the INT, it's Brady. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 16 and a first down for the green and gold.
I tell you what, when you're down on the scoreboard, you've got to look to your stars, and that's what they do here to start the drive. I wouldn't be surprised if they looked his way a few more times in short order. That one, well designed, and it's a quick first down.
Go check. Go check. Hut, hut.
Here's Brady.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted.
Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. And they finally put an end to this return, but not before he's all the way down to the 37. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
Go.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's got his man, Gates.
And he will be out of bounds. A good yardage there, and he'll get a second to catch his breath as it leads us right into the 2-minute warning. So from inside the 20, here's first and 10 at the 18.
Here we go. Hut.
Now Hill. And this is going to be intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick.
And the Packers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Charles, one thing that he referenced to us yesterday was his confidence fitting the ball into any window, but obviously that window was a little too tight and it was closing in a hurry.
And he was talking to us about having anticipation in making those types of throws. Down near the goal line, I don't think you can anticipate it as much as you...
And Brady going to be intercepted a third time.
Across midfield.
And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line.
So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
79 Bronco. Here we go. Set.
Back to throw. Hill. Buying time to his left.
Open man downfield is John.
And it's a fumble.
But it looks like one of the DBs has it.
And they will take over at the 26-yard line. A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice to be more secure with the ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game. You may all of a sudden make your catch, see some open field, and decide you're going for it, and not realizing that danger lurks while you're doing so. And there's your end result right there.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Throwing now is Brady. And Brady going to be intercepted a 3rd time. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for 2.
Go.
Here's Hill now after the interception. Dancing to his left.
I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget kicking it, go for 2, and they did.
Well, yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There's a turnover, you take it away, they stuck it in the end zone.
Now a hit and a loose football.
So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery. But
oh, he can't get away, and Brady will go down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. Now Brady. And a loose football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S, ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you've got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what.
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Lad McConkey as the first half is winding down. And the Steelers would extend their lead here just before halftime.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Oh, and now they're going to fake it. He's got it at the 10, and he gets in. Well, no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead.
Can you please throw to our team?
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And with 5 seconds to go, this will likely be our final play.
The final shot before half for Brady.
That is incomplete. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. The Packers set to get the football first, and they are trailing on the scoreboard as we resume action, ready for the 3rd quarter. And they'll opt not to return this, but since the ball did hit in the landing zone, this will come out to the 20.
Check, go!
They'll start on the ground here on first down. The big man, get the oxygen tank ready. He's on his way. Touchdown, Packers. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown.
And the Packers come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead will be cut down to 14. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You can say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
Here's Hill. Hits his target. It's Adrian Peterson. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
Here's Hill.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
That's another beautiful throw right there. Gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it. And they pick up another first down there.
And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Hill throwing once more.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. And the Packers are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, third quarter, but that, not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
Now Brady. And got his man complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A gain of 37. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Brady to throw.
That's complete to his running back, Perry.
And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. A good-looking drive for the Packers so far. It's a first down. They run with Perry. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
And now you have to wonder, partner, at what point in time do they forget the running game? It's been a struggle so far in this one. I would think they'd have to start throwing it a little bit more.
To throw, it's Brady. And that is incomplete here. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Brady now to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
You can see and feel the disappointment on that one because you saw some guys on the sidelines jumping up going, oh, no. Looked like they had that one set up well on third down, but you got to give yourself time to get rid of the football.
And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through, and that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11.
Well, the 3 points certainly helps, but you feel like, Charles, at this stage of the game, when you force those turnovers, you need to start converting them into touchdowns.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised myself because I thought in this situation, they were thinking end zone or bust. Now they got to rely on their defense to get the ball back again for another opportunity to get 6 points.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Caught by Gates, left side. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4.
From the 29, here's second and a couple.
Here we go. Here we go.
Here's Hill.
He'll drop this down to Peterson.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
70 Ranger. 70 Ranger. Ready?
Hill. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Buda Baker with a pick.
And the Packers are right back in this football game.
Now with that interception, you feel like we got a ball game again. Remember, 2-score contest and still time left here in the 4th.
And in the old days, not too long gone either. Throwing the ball here would have been an absolute no-no, but the way the game's played now, throwing it makes sense. You just have to be careful when you put it in the air.
Now Brady. Over the middle here to Brown. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score.
Come on. Set. Go.
Brady. Forced out to his left. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Now the question is obvious. Do you try to kick the field goal right here knowing that you need 2 scores? I would be thinking about it if I were on that sideline. Get the field goal now, try and get the touchdown later.
Brady going to throw. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29.
Multiple players getting home there, and it's a loss of 2 on the sack.
I remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. And they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin. He's got a man complete. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. There's certainly some importance to this one now. After the touchdown, they could get this down to a field goal with a 2-point conversion. Now Brady. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Oh, no, he lost the football.
don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of two-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation, this time unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
Oh, and some hitting going on now. This has been a tight game, and he takes a big shot there on the return.
On the double.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And this game not quite in hand yet. We'll likely see all three. That is intercepted. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. Here's 1st and 10.
19 tight. 19 tight. Let's go.
Back to throw, Brady. Throw left side complete. That's Perry. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Nothing open downfield, they went underneath.
Yeah, see if you can get it to your running back. See if you can make someone miss in the open field.
60 Bobcat. 60 Bobcat. Ready.
Brady to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Perry. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Again from the 15, 2nd and 10. To throw is Brady. Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. And the Steelers have just about sewn up this football game. Well, this is one heck of an individual performance we're witnessing. That is now his 3rd interception. And keep in mind, folks, this isn't a safety or a cornerback. This is a linebacker.
Does this feel to you like he's having a flashback? Because a lot of these linebackers we see in the NFL, in high school, they were offensive stars. They touched the football all the time. It's like he said to himself, let's go back and put on the leather jacket and go get the football. How about this one? 3 interceptions thus far.
Second and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. Now it looks like he'll throw here. He's got his man, Gates. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up.
These guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the 4th quarter.
Now Hill. And now here is another interception. The ball comes out. And the Steelers are going to hang on the final play. They get the turnover to seal this football game. So this